Welcome to the show. And on today's show, we have someone who I've known for a year, but we really don't really know about each other because Fred, the founder of Litemint, we've always been passing each other, but now our worlds have collided. And it's a chance for you and me to sit down to find out a little bit more about Fred and the man behind the Litemint. So, Fred, thank you, sir, for finding time to join me.
Well, Jordan, thank you very much for this opportunity and glad to be here.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. And I know a lot of people in the Stellar community know your face, they know your name for the right reasons. But I want to know more about Litemint. So let's start off with who is Fred and why did you start Litemint?
Yeah, I'm Fred, the founder of Litemint. Litemint is an NFT marketplace. Mostly because obviously we started as a gaming platform. We had a game, a tradable card game called Litemint.io, and that's basically how we started. What happened here is that most of the player at some point they wanted to a platform to easily trade their cards, and we decided basically to generalize the solution, and we created a marketplace for that. And that's how Litemint, the NFT marketplace, was born. I think that Stellar has a lot of good properties for NFTs and for creators as well. And that's the reason why I'm building all this on Stellar. And we hope to bring a lot more people and a lot more creators over time on this ecosystem.
And you sure will. You sure will. And I know that's the big call to action, right? Artists of all shapes and sizes, they should be learning more about Litemint. And you're doing a great job already, Fred. And I have to ask, are you an artist yourself?
Yes, artist is a big word. Basically, I love obviously hand drawing, like oil painting is something that I do. And then yes, I have even minted some of my creations on Litemint, obviously. Yes, I love art in general, and that's why also I was actually an indie game developer for many years before I started this business, and so I kind of know I would say the problem that the creative industries have, which is too many middlemen and a lot of I would say useless middlemen, and that's what we're trying to remove, obviously, with the blockchain and the decentralization and platforms like Litemint, basically.
That's powerful. And I've seen some of your work on Twitter as well.
Thank you.
And it's beautiful. You know, I definitely didn't pursue art at school and stayed far, far away, but I can appreciate it. I can definitely appreciate it. And if anyone else wants to see not just Fred's work, but the hundreds of artists that are minting NFT artwork on Litemint, be sure to follow on Twitter. And Fred, if you were to give a really simple walkthrough of how can someone engage with the marketplace, what are the steps they need to take to be able to buy and sell on your marketplace?
Right. So at the moment, we are, I would say that that's one of the issues that we had. And we had a lot of feedback about this, especially we went to NFT NYC, went to NFT London. That's where we met again. And we had a lot of feedback there about the onboarding, especially because I would say Stellar as a blockchain, as an ecosystem, is not the first go-to ecosystem for creators. And that means that usually when creators are joining us, it's
Not
kind
yet.
of a first.
Yeah.
Yes, not yet. Obviously, we're trying to change that. So it's kind of a first when they try to join. And what happens there is that we need to help them to set up a wallet. We need to help them onboarding on this ecosystem. And this is something that the beta that we're currently developing, and which should be hopefully live in 2 weeks. That's what we are trying to solve basically with this new iteration of the marketplace. Basically, it's the onboarding to make it a lot smoother and to facilitate basically onboarding and the ability for new creators to join us.
And how long have you been working on these new improvements for the onboarding process? Because people, and I know because of course we live in the tech space, that it is a skill, an art to take something abstract and make it simple. So I don't want people to not be able to appreciate how simple it is. How long have you been working on this, Fred?
So I would say that the NFT marketplace started in 2021. We released in 2021. But what happened is we received a lot of feedback during those events that we've participated in last year in 2022. So as I said, NFT NYC, NFT London, especially, we met a lot of people, a lot of creators, and that's from the time that we came back from those events, about November last year, that we really decided to get back to the drawing board and then try to figure out what the creators would need in a new iteration of the platform to help this onboarding process. And so about, I would say, 8 months now that we've been working on the beta.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I know those 8 months haven't all been smooth, but what's been the biggest challenge, Fred, that you found over the past 8 months?
So I think there was several problems additionally to the onboarding process. One was the scalability of the platform. So we've also completely rewritten the front end and also improved a lot of the back end. So in order to be able to scale up, especially because I think there will be a lot more adoptions in the future. You know, recently Google Play has changed their policy, allowing now NFTs in apps and games. So I think that what's going to happen is that there's a lot of developers now that are going to look for solutions in order to implement NFTs in their apps and games, in their experience, and many are going to find different technology than the one that obviously are the go-to technology at the moment, because with numbers happens competition. So I think that many are going to discover the properties of the Stellar blockchain and start to develop there. And what we want is to have the tools that are ready to scale up to these new developers that are going to join the ecosystem.
Remarkable. And out of curiosity, what does the NFT market place space look like on Stellar? Of course, in my eyes, you know, you are the leader on Stellar, but I wouldn't say competition, but do you have other teammates building on Stellar something similar to what you're building, Fred?
I think there's additional marketplace that have emerged during I think in 2021 especially. It was so we have Fimi Market, we have the Blue Marble as well. There are some additional projects that are quite that are developing on the Stellar ecosystem. Now, if we compare it to any other ecosystem, obviously it's extremely small compared to, like, you can't really compare to other ecosystem. But what I believe is that obviously this technology being built entirely on layer 1 and with the properties that we have on Stellar, this is definitely something that can scale up and can take over a lot much bigger market over time. And that's basically the belief I have in, and that's what we keep on building on this ecosystem.
Remarkable, remarkable. And you know, we're coming up towards the end of our conversation. It has flown by for good reason, and I know this won't be our last conversation. If there was one last thing that the Stellar community you would like for them to remember, what would you like them to remember?
What I would love is that the system, what we are building, grows outside actually of the Stellar community. So my message would be rather to any developers out there. You know, there's a very little story, I'm going to be fast, that I had in 2021, or was it 2022? I can't remember, but a major game company in Korea contacted me and they were interested in doing NFTs. And they just came across Stellar and they wanted to know if it was possible for them technically to use Stellar. And they were extremely happy with what I've shown them. The problem and the reason why they did not want they did not end up choosing Stellar was because of the low volumes of activity on Stellar in terms of the NFTs and the creative economies. So what I want basically is more people to discover the properties technologically of a blockchain like Stellar, so that we can start building and start growing all together. So my message would be rather to everyone out there who is a developer, who is looking for solutions that are real, low fees, fast transaction, the availability of a decentralized exchange, and to join us and then to see the magic that Stellar can achieve for their project.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. You knew exactly what you wanted to say. Fred, I couldn't agree more. You know, that although we're starting off as a small community, which is not a bad thing, there's more for other communities to come join the party as well. And I cannot wait personally to see all your hard work over the past 8 months come to life. You're going to be in Madrid and Meridian, is that right?
Yes, definitely. We're going to see each other.
Brilliant, brilliant. So if you're watching at home and you're thinking about coming, if you are coming, please let us know. I for one, love speaking to people. That's why, of course, we have this show. Fred, I know you are just as open as I am too, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, powerful, powerful. Well, Fred, this is a see you soon. So I'll see you in less than 2 months' time. And for everyone else at home, we hope to see you there as well. Fred, hang around at the after.
All right.
And we'll catch up.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Ciao, everyone.